Hi there, join me in this video when I'm at RSPB Fairburn Ings. So Fairburn Ings is just the other side of the M1 from Leeds, and this is the first time I've visited this reserve, so I'm not sure what to expect, but already getting out of the car I've heard a cuckoo and I'm going to head in that direction now. I don't know whether I'll spot it, but I've got a bird identification app that's heard some blackcaps. I'm sure I'm going to see lots of interesting things this morning, so come along with me because I know that I'm really going to enjoy my photography. Now, I'm only just into the reserve and already I've seen a grey heron fly over that I didn't manage to photograph, unfortunately, but I've also got some birds in this tree in front of me that are making a load of noise that I suspect are blackcaps, and the cuckoo is still making lots of noise behind me. You can probably hear it if I go quiet. There it is still, and so I'd really love a sighting of that, fingers crossed. But I'm going to stay here for a while to see if I can get any photographs of these birds that are making all this noise in this tree. There's a buzzard circling over there now as well. God, this is a good place. Today is actually really tricky because while I've just been in the wooded area, I've heard so many birds and some seem very, very close, but it's just so difficult to spot them because of all the leaves on the trees. I know that some must have been less than 10 meters away from me, but I just could not see them at all. I did manage to get a chiff-chaff, but I'm not sure how good the quality will be because it was quite high in a tree and the sky was quite bright behind it. So I don't know how that'll turn out. But getting up into this more open area, the bird noises seem to have quietened down. There don't seem to be quite as many up here, but I have seen some geese fly over and some swans fly over and some black-headed gulls, so somewhere fairly close there must be some birds on the water. I've just managed to spot a bird through the canopy, but by the time I managed to position myself so I could see it clearly through an empty spot with no leaves, it had flown off. So it was a close, but actually didn't get a photograph again. I think it was a blackcap, can't be sure, but they're all around. There's so many birds about. I must, by the law of averages, see one at some point. You'd barely tell when visiting Fairburn Ings that only 60 years ago this area was a coalface, and due to work from conservationists in the RSPB, it's become a home for wildfowl and lots of different types of nature, and it is really a lovely place to be, and it's a great way to reclaim what was once an industrial site. Well, I've just spent some time in this hide and it's been really productive. I've seen a cormorant, a great crested grebe, a mute swan, some gadwalls, lots of black-headed gulls, and some have got chicks. I've seen a tufted duck, a coot, and just right at the very end, a reed bunting landed right on the edge of the water, just on some pieces of foliage, and I waited for the wind to move some of the branches out of the way and got a really nice shot of that just at the end. Now, some of the other birds might be a little bit farther away, so they won't be spectacular, but that reed bunting I'm really pleased with. There's another viewing point here behind me overlooking a different patch of water, but unfortunately the birds are far too far away really to take any good photographs. There's an awful lot of coots. I'm not sure I've ever seen so many coots all in one place. They're just dotted all over the water, and I did see some grey-lag geese as well. I've come to the final hide that I'm going to visit today, just here behind me, but again, unfortunately, any birds that are on the water out there are too far away to photograph. So I did come out here behind the hide, and in these trees just here behind me were some chiff-chaffs and some long-tailed tits, and I must have spent about 20 minutes waiting, and unfortunately this time patience didn't pay off because I just couldn't get a clear shot. There's so many leaves on the trees that as soon as they were in a clear spot and I managed to get a focus lock, they were off and somewhere else. So that was down to just not being able to focus through the foliage, and I didn't get a shot from here. Well, just as I said, the law of averages did pay off, and I came across a blackcap sitting on top of a tree with no leaves around him on a solitary twig. Now, the only downside, for the most part, it was slightly behind the twig, but it did pull its head out ever so often, and I got a photograph of that. And just at the end, before it flew off, I did get a shot with it facing the other way, and I got some video as well. What a great way to end the video. I've just spent some time in this hide here behind me, and to start with I saw a blue tit that was nesting in the wood parts of the hide itself, and so I got some video of that. And then looking out from the hide over the water, I saw a heron, but then to top it all off, a Marsh Harrier came down over the top of the reeds, circled around really close, and I got a really nice photograph of that to finish the video.
Fall for you again. Been through it all. You're the one who understands.
That's been a really enjoyable visit to Fairburn Ings. Unfortunately, I've only managed to do half of the reserve today. On the map, it doesn't look anywhere near as big as it is, and some of the paths are really long, and so I've only managed to visit half of the reserve today. So maybe in the future I'll pay it another visit, but I have been really pleased with the amount of species that I've seen, and I did manage to get that photograph of the blackcap in the end, and so the patience did pay off. If you've enjoyed this video, do let me know down below in the comments, because I do really love reading everything that you send me. And also you can visit my Vero account. There you can see lots of my pictures as well. Now, if you like what I do on the channel and want to help support me to continue to make future content like this, then you can do me a really big favour by visiting my Teespring store, because there I've got lots of merchandise on offer. So go and check that out, because a purchase is very much appreciated. Also, don't forget the super thanks button as well. But you don't have to spend any money at all to support the channel. You can do that simply by clicking like, subscribe and the bell notifications, because it really helps me out and it makes sure that you don't miss out on any future content. Watch out for next week's video. That goes live on Sunday. In the meantime, go and check out this video just up here. But all that's left now is to say, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.